when I heard about this program. I don't know who recommended me or who told me about it, but I was like, I never knew about a program like this that helps foster kids out, because I never knew like people actually cared about them. They only, on social media, all you would see was people handing out money to the homeless. Never saw them hand out money or give advice to foster kids. I've never seen that. I was kind of nervous because, like I said, I'm not like a people person. I wouldn't talk to people. I was nervous. I did want to apply because I wanted to see if other students or scholars that would have like the same story as me, and when I heard foster youth aging out and coming to a university, I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try, and if I feel comfortable, I'm gonna stay, but if I don't, I gotta go. So I do feel comfortable now, obviously, because I'm still here, and it changed me a lot as I'm talking more. I don't feel like I'm alone in the world. The fact that I stayed because other people they said that they see something in me, like greatness and stuff, but I didn't see it. So I said, if other people can see that greatness in me, I might as well stay and try to figure out what I'm gonna do once I graduate.
My name is Tyrone Campbell. I'm a junior Sullivan Deckard scholar. I'm part of the 6th cohort.
I'm Jacob Burns. I am a 3rd year now, Sullivan Deckard scholar, part of cohort 6.
I wasn't on campus. We were actually staying downtown, me and another member of cohort 6. So when we graduated high school, got our diplomas, we already didn't walk the stage. We already didn't go to prom, so we were already kind of discouraged before college was even an option. But I could honestly say everything was kind of overwhelming, and making that adjustment from the first time of me living on my own to actually having to take over my own responsibilities in college, it was just something I had to get used to. I had to adjust to because I wasn't used to it, and it's a lot of things I'm still disciplining myself in, but at the time I had to discipline myself hard and really, I had to make decisions for that time, to move forward. And it's still a process though. Like it's nothing that ended. So it's like I have to adjust more every year. It's a big change.
I always wanted to make my mindset more adult-like. I wanted to be more mature than most of my age group around me. And I always had an idea of how I wanted that to happen. But actually having to apply that to going into college and actually having to schedule myself and do adult-like things, I would say it was completely different than I expected. And now coming from my 3rd year, I would say I have adapted to a degree I didn't even imagine. And I'm very proud of where I've come from and how I got here, but I'm also, there's a lot of things that I haven't been able to reach yet, and I realized that things take time, and it's all about being consistent and just continuing walking that journey. So I would say having the resources at this program completely was able to build me up to where I wanted to be and to hopefully get to the places I want to be in the future.
When I first came, because I came in as a music performance major, then I ended up changing my major. But coming in as a music performance major, it was an adjustment from like high school orchestra to college orchestra. The discipline had to change, and then considering what happened in the last few years of my high school year, it was kind of hard to put other things aside and get my head back into my priorities. So I could say that I've made a change to discipline myself in certain areas, or at least try to. I also feel like I've earned like patience, and I've also feel like I've been exposed to more opportunities. I can honestly say this is the biggest like diverse group of people I've ever been around, not specifically the scholarship, but the university itself. So I've met a lot of different people. Like for an example, now I'm taking a sign class, and me personally, it's my favorite class because it's a lot of people on campus that speak sign, and I feel like being able to interact with them through that's good. And the fact that I discipline myself towards things like that now shows me the change shows me the change that I've became. So
I feel, I felt like the diversity part of it was definitely a big changer for me because just coming from I had a very small friend group, and so there wasn't a lot of differences that we had in each other. We all kind of became friends due to our like similarities, but having to jump into such a diverse place such as Cleveland University, or even this, you know, the Pratt Center itself, and taking those different classes to learn about different point of views, it's completely changed like the person that I was thinking I was gonna be. And I'm starting to become someone who almost second, I think more about my opportunities and like my responses to things a lot more, just because of everyone I've been around and how their experiences have turned out to be and such. Well, when I first heard it, to know that I had to memorize the whole creed, it was definitely a big challenge. And Tyrone even mentioned like having to discipline myself and to be able to learn things and be able to actually keep that knowledge in and use it for a later purpose. It was completely new to me, and it seemed very intimidating, especially the star phrases in that speech. But having to actually learn it and apply it to my everyday self, I feel like it really just kind of built a foundation properly to like the things I needed to do to get my journey started. And now the creed is more of a thing that starts my day, and it's the way that ends my day.
To be honest, probably about a year after being here is when I really understood the creed meant. Like before, I understood different parts of it, but after repeating it so long, actually memorizing it, having conversations about it, and then when I found out about how the program actually originated, speaking of Mrs. Pratt, and everything that everybody had to say about her, it just made me realize a lot and how powerful the words were. And the creed actually made me realize I need to make a choice in my life. Like when I started looking at what the creed actually said, and then looking at who I was and then who I was trying to become, it related to nothing about who I was at the time in the past. So it's
No, I completely agree with that. And like over the years, having us split it up and to give different examples, and especially talking about the history of the center and like where the speech comes from, it completely changed my point of view. And I agree with you. Like it took me probably a couple months to like a year, maybe even longer, to really start understanding that this creed is more than just a couple like phrases put together. It's like a life lesson that you should look at, and there's different ways to interpret it. There's not just one meaning. It's so complex, and all of it is for like the greater good, depending on how you depict it. So no, I completely agree with that. I would say I do, and maybe not to a complete degree because I wasn't there to meet her in person and to obviously be under her, but obviously living on with Mr. Pratt now, and just to hear all the amazing stories and just hearing about her presence made me feel more connected, and to be a part of something and actually continue living it on and so forth, it makes me feel a part of just a bigger picture that I never thought I would be a part of. I thought it was just a small thing going forward, but in reality it's such a huge picture that I'm a part of, and it's just an amazing feeling.
I mean, I kind of like in an odd way feel really connected to her. But I feel like that connection is what made me make a final decision about what I wanted to do with my life. Because as I said, like knowing the history of the program made me realize like why it's important to take this serious. And so yeah, I do feel connected, and I feel like everything like we do now, like when after the conversations with Mr. Pratt, I really did realize like everything we doing is really for like future generations, and that's kind of scary. It's a little overwhelming too.
My future advice for future scholars that were to come into the scholarship, or rather pursue even an education, is the pandemic really changed a lot of things that I would say made a lot of life easier. But one thing that never changes is how education works, and especially how this center works. And while some of the foundations have changed a little bit, no matter what sticks is that you have to be very hardworking, and you're gonna want to be able to pursue and have a greater future. You're not coming here just to, live through the years, just piece by piece. You come into this scholarship to want to have a better future coming out, and to have a better career, and to make as much money as you want, to network properly. So I would say just come in here with a strong heart, and there's gonna be a lot of times where you question if you want to stay here, if you want to finish your degree. But I think the best part about it's the life lesson is that you want to stick through what you start, and once you get to the end of it, you're gonna feel very proud of yourself. And not only that, that's gonna carry on the legacies after you, carry on to the people before and after you. And it's always good to just be that role model for yourself and others. So that's just what I want to add.
Everything that's like pressuring you not to want a better education, it will be there once you have your education. The friends can wait. The late nights out can wait, because it's really not what's important. And I completely understand like being young, and especially like when you're in a foster care system, and I'm pretty sure I'm speaking to someone who probably AWOL'd in the past, so the process of that, and behind it is really a rush. And I understand it, but it really gets you nowhere, and when you have an opportunity that presents itself that could really change the whole path of your future, you need to take it, no matter what background you come from, no matter who your brother, your sister is, your mom, your dad, what responsibilities that you have to uphold, because it is really irrelevant. And so I honestly would say that everything that's not a priority can wait, but getting your education is a priority. It really should be, and especially when you're getting the opportunity to go to college and graduate debt-free. Like, you would be a fool not to take it. So
well, just overall, what I like to celebrate for 10 years is that the world's always changing, and you would think that like statistically there's always going to be those numbers that puts a population down or puts yourself down. And no matter what, every year a number could change, another life can change. And these 10 years prove that coming from our background, we're able to reach for a higher potential, and we come out a better ourselves overall. So I'm gonna be able to celebrate myself for taking pride and taking advantage of opportunity that came in front of me. And I'm gonna continue to celebrate the future generations that are able to take those same opportunities and maybe even reach beyond. So that's the one thing I like to celebrate.
Mine is, without education, man is a slave. And it's my favorite line in the Scholar's Creed, because I feel like it's very true. And I feel like ignorance can get you a lot of places you don't want to be in life. So I feel like education is very important.
This is my time and place, just those words. I feel like just those words in general do not come to me in my best of moments. I feel like I've always clouded by my judgment, and there's a lot of times, especially now, where I need to get things done, but I like to push it on to the next day or even the next week, and I can't, for whatever reason, I can't just get up and do it now. And just having to re-say the creed in my head, and I actually have it on my wall just to make sure I look it over once in a while, but just be able to tell myself that this is the time, this is the place, I'm gonna do this right now. I feel like that is the most important part that I need to continue to build upon in myself to be able to continue to make the best decisions for my life. And overall, I would love to say thank you for giving not only our population opportunity, but be able to individually give myself the opportunity to be able to make something better of myself. And also thank CSU for providing the best resources, and also be able to create such a diverse community where I'm able to not only learn about my studies and my major, but I'm able to kind of reach off and learn about everything else around me, about the world, about the different people that come from different communities. It's just it's a great place to be able to build your character.
Being a Sullivan Deckard scholar means a lot. It's a broad category. It's more stuff I could say to where It shows my integrity of how I got here. It shows that I have a plan outside when I'm done. It shows that I got here for a reason and nobody taking that away from me. So being a Sullivan Deckard scholar is way more than just being here on campus or just being an individual person to where I'm just here for myself. I have a lot to prove and a lot to show people that I can bring. Finding out that I really could have passed up because I had other offers, full scholarships to 4 other schools, it was kind of mind-blowing that I passed those up, but also like, well, this better be worth it. In my head, like, I really was not trying to come here for a can of paint. To now is that I see the connections I have built and just the people I've been around is more influential than I thought it was going to be. I feel like I've grown in a way of just knowing people are on my side, not thinking that nobody was on my side before. Freshman year coming in, it was a lot. I wouldn't say it was something new, as everybody should feel when they're coming into a new spot or a new way of living. You're basically packing up all the stuff that you left or that you gained over time. I've literally been in foster care all my life. And my last foster home was over 8 years of me staying there. And for me to pack up all my stuff and knowing that I didn't know nobody, that I had to trust Mr. Pratt and the Pratt Center and all the other scholars, it was very scary. So knowing that now is that we have that sense of community and I'm a part of that community, it evolved me to see other wavelengths and other perspectives of this is what needs to be done. Take your time, do your research. This is more than just a program at CSU. It's something that can change your life. And then for the people that don't have the resources of knowing about it, ask questions. You gotta ask, get in contact with your county workers, your guidance counselors, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna hear about it either way. This is a very great opportunity, not just because of me just saying this. It's more of you're gonna learn stuff that you are not gonna learn anywhere else. They're gonna take care of you financially that a lot of people are worried about. Even when you age out of care, where am I gonna stay? Where am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat? And you don't have to worry about that at all. I think the community, the people that came before me, just looking at what they have done before and just now that stuff has changed from when they were here to now. And I think that's a beautiful thing, is that you get all these cohorts, you get all these people and all these personalities together just to celebrate something very big. So now it's more of we have a place to stay, a place we can call home, a place we can say this is our family, not just a investment to this campus or just to the Pratt Center in general. I think it's more of they were willing to give us a chance and an opportunity to show what we're really about and what we can really do. I have a couple, but I'll just leave one. Worked, played, rested, and slept. I think that line right there means everything, because just because you don't see people working doesn't mean they aren't. Everybody has their chance to go out, have fun, play, but when somebody is consistently working at what they're good at or what they want to be good at, that's a different thing of a beautiful opportunity because of this scholarship. It's like, I'll bring up Nariah Swells. Like, it's very misunderstood, but I see everything that she's doing in the light of she gets her work done, she has the grades, that she does everything. That's that hard work and that's that consistency of hard work. So I feel like anybody in that aspect of that line should take that in consideration of, even if I don't want to do it, you should do it. If I don't feel like doing it, you should do it. because it will only benefit you in the long run.
This is my time, this is my place, this is my time, this is my place, this is my time, this is my place, this is my time, this is my place.